Parents today are doing everything they can to give their kids the best, to throw the biggest party for them, to get them the latest iPhone, to get them the newest brand name clothes. But the truth of the matter is, kids don't need more stuff. What they actually need is your undivided attention and emotional connection with you. In this video, I'm going to share with you the real impacts of emotional disconnection and what you can start doing to build emotional safety for your kids. I'm Lisa, a child behavior expert and a parent coach. I have over a decade of experience as a pediatric occupational therapist. I help parents feel empowered with science-backed strategies and tools that help you to feel confident in supporting your child's development. With the right knowledge and tools, you can raise a resilient and confident child who thrives at home, school, and in life. In today's modern world, we have so many things in our environment, and we feel this need to give our kids everything we possibly can as a way to show our love. And in this world of abundance, we try to give them things. We try to create the biggest, most grandiose events for them so that they feel special. And while these material objects and possessions and big events may make our kids feel good in the moment, we might see that joy, that excitement when they get that toy that they've been asking for or the latest video game. We feel that this is our way to show them love and that this is how they actually receive their love. But when all those material things start to fade away, what our kids ultimately want from us is our attention and emotional connection. But with us parents being so busy juggling work, driving our kids to extracurriculars, we have home duties, so many responsibilities are piled on our plate. It's hard to be present. It's hard to give our full attention and be there in the moment when our kids really need it. And when we actually do have the time to stop after a long, overwhelming day at work, we come home. It's often we want to sit on the couch, go on our phones, and just zone out for a bit just to get some peace and quiet. And I get it. It's because we live in such a fast-paced world where we're constantly on the go. It's easy to feel overwhelmed as a parent. And it's hard for us to be present, to actually give our full attention to our kids when they ask us for it. But this poses the question, is this really how we want to raise our kids in this modern world? Do we really want to teach them that everything in life is go, 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 that it's more important to prioritize possessions and material objects over being present in the moment? Because without that genuine connection, kids are experiencing emotional instability and insecurity. And this is leading to a lot of inappropriate behaviors as well as dysregulation. Our kids are struggling. They're struggling to regulate their own emotions, control themselves whenever they're feeling frustrated or bored or disappointed. Why? Because the foundation to emotional regulation and control is rooted in emotional connection with us as parents. Kids today are growing up way more anxious than any other generation. They're constantly worrying if people like them, if they're good enough, and this is affecting their mental health and self-esteem. We're also seeing a generation of disconnected individuals. Kids do not know how to connect with their peers anymore. They feel so isolated that they're turning to the screens, they're turning to an online community to try to find that connection. And what's alarming is 1 in 4 kids ages 8 to 12 are exhibiting screen time addictions. This puts them at high risk for online predators. When they're seeking for connections online more than real ones, this is a huge red flag that something needs to change. Because truly, when something goes wrong in their life, you really have to question, who are they actually going to turn to? If they don't feel emotionally connected to you or to their family, and they're so connected to an online world, when something goes wrong, they're going to use Google search to find their answers rather than turning to you. And this is where things become dangerous because kids do not have the capacity to understand right from wrong, to know how to evaluate if something is actually the truth or if it's false. So this is my message to you, parents. If you're here listening, recognizing that your connection with your child isn't as strong as where you want it to be, now is the time to start taking action and building the relationship and bond you have with your child, because their future rides on this. They need to feel secure. They need to feel connected in order for them to trust you. You want them to come to you and seek for your guidance. So here are things that you can start doing to turn things around in your relationship and start nurturing that emotional connection with your child. Number one is to just start showing up. When your child is engaged in extracurricular, show up to their games, show up to their recitals. Just being there shows them that you actually care about them, that you're actually interested in what it is that they're doing. And I know you might be thinking, well, whenever I do ask them if they want me to come, they just say no, don't bother. But this is a defense wall that many of our kids put up because over the years of not having someone show up for them, this is their way to avoid feeling rejected. And so if they push back and they say, no, don't worry about it, don't show up, it's not a big deal. This is your time to say, you know what, it is a big deal because I know how important this game is to you. I know how important this recital is to you, and I want to be there. When you actually say these words to them, it makes them feel like you actually want to be there, and it's not them trying to bribe you or trying to convince you to come and see them. Number two is to listen, not react. When our kids come to you with their problems, if they made a mistake and they're confiding in you, if your initial reaction is to react to that, what will happen over time is they will immediately put up a defense wall. Nobody wants to feel an attack. When you react, if you start yelling, if you start scolding them, if you start reprimanding them, this feels like an attack to them. And what they're trying to do when they come to you is they feel like they can trust you with this information. And if that's what they're receiving, they will stop coming to you. They will stop telling you when things aren't going well. So instead, when you can stop and pause, when they tell you things and you can feel inside of you, you want to react, you want to yell, hold back that urge to react and actually be an active listener. Actually hear what it is that they have to say and give them some support because they're obviously going through a tough time. And the fact that they're coming to you because they trust you means that they want you to listen. Don't try to just jump in and fix the problem, offering so many solutions. What they need in that moment is a listening ear from you. This is ultimately going to help them feel more connected, to feel seen and heard. And this is the foundation to actually building a strong relationship with them. Number three is to prioritize experiences together. When you can create a fun, exciting experience with your child, these are what create strong bonds and memories with them. It could be planning just a trip to the playground or having a spontaneous picnic together. When you create these memories, it helps them to feel more connected to you. So if you have a child who tends to push you away when you're trying to suggest different activities to do together and they tell you no, they rather isolate themselves in their room or just fixate on their video games and you end up feeling shunned so you walk away. It's in these moments where you can actually bridge a connection with them. How you can do this is actually by asking questions and getting curious. So if the thing that your child loves to do is to play Minecraft, Roblox, whatever video game, get into their worlds. Ask them, hey, would you mind if I sit down beside you and just watch what you're doing? I'm really interested to know why you find this so fun. That is going to help to bridge a gap that you're currently feeling with them because it feels like they're in their own world and you're way over here and you're trying to bring them into a different experience. You're trying to encourage them to come outside with you, to play soccer with you, whatever it is. But if they're over here in their world, enter the world that they're in and start to build a capacity in their worlds. And the more and more you do that, the more you show curiosity and interest in what they find interesting, they will start to open up. Then the next step could be, can I come and join you? Would you mind if we made this a 2-player game? And then now you have something of common interest where you're engaging in an activity with them, and that is going to build a connection with them. Number 4 is to build in daily connection time. So actually setting time in your day where you spend time diving into what went on in their day. What were some of the feelings they had? The best time to do this, the one that I love doing myself too as a mom, is to do it right before bedtime, allotting 10 to 15 minutes where you just lay in bed with your child, talking about how their day went. You can ask them questions like, what was something that was really interesting for you today? Or was there anything that felt really hard for you that you want to talk about? When you ask them these really personal questions in a moment where it's very relaxing, very calming, not rushed, this is where your children will start to open up. They'll start to converse with you. And it's in these conversations that go deep, that actually talk about experiences and emotions that they're feeling, that's going to bridge the connection between you and your child. Number 5 is to not be afraid to repair. So repair means to come back to a moment where you feel like you had a disconnection with your child. This could be an argument that you had with them. When you told them it was time to put away their iPad and they had a big explosive tantrum over it and you lost your cool, you started yelling, and after that, everyone just walked out of the room. Don't brush these moments under the rug. When we leave these types of moments unresolved, they compile over time. Even though it might feel like, you know what, it happened, everyone kind of moved on, we're all fine now, never leave these moments to just sit there, because what it does, it builds. It's like a snowball. These small moments of disconnection where you're arguing, you are in conflict and it gets unresolved, it sits there. It sits on the shelf. And the next time it happens, it piles and it piles and it piles and it piles. And when you leave it unresolved, you've got a huge laundry list of unresolved conflicts. And when you have unresolved conflicts, that harbors anger and resentment over time. And so the way to remove this from the shelf is to always come back and repair. So if you had an argument, let's say the morning of with your child right before school. Now you didn't have time, you had to go to work, your child had to go to school. When you guys come back and reconvene after school, this is the time to bring in that repair. Sitting down with your child and saying something like, hey, I just want a moment with you. I want to talk about what happened this morning. I felt really frustrated because of, it took you so long to get out the door, and I raised my voice, and I want to apologize for that. The reason I raised my voice was because I was feeling so frustrated and I need to work on my own emotional control. When you can bring up that argument and you bring it out into the open and you have a conversation around it, that helps to resolve the issue so that it doesn't compile over time. When we do this repair, it teaches our kids responsibility, accountability for our own actions whenever we make a mistake. So if you feel like your relationship has become more and more disconnected over the years, I want to assure you it is never too late to try to turn things around. Start with these 5 strategies and start implementing it on a daily basis. You will start to see a transformation in your connection and relationship with your child. But I know this can feel like a lot, especially if the relationship you have with your child is quite complicated and you find that you're constantly walking on eggshells with them, you're constantly in conflict with them. Every time you ask them something, it feels like you're just butting heads with them. You're not alone in this. There are so many parents that I've helped that were facing this on a daily basis. So if you're looking for more personalized support, my one-on-one parent coaching will help guide you through all of this. I will help to pinpoint the actual break in your relationship and what is the first step you need to start making to start seeing these changes. Remember, the earlier you are to start intervening, start making changes in the way you show up for your child, the way you interact with them, this is where you're going to start seeing a stronger relationship. And this is all going to snowball in the long term. Because what you ultimately want is to have a great relationship with your child throughout their lifespan. Until you reach your old age, you want your kids to be coming back to you. And so in order for you to have that in the future, you need to start nurturing it right now. So if you're ready to start making these changes for yourself and your child, I am offering a 30% off discount for Mother's Day on all of my coaching packages. So you don't want to miss out on this limited time offer. All the information is in the description box below. I hope you found this video informative. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.